Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So this is now officially day 6 of Ramadan, and started off really good. Very peaceful, uneventful, still even right now. I woke up for my first prayer when my alarm went off on time. The first thing I did when my alarm went off was went and got in the shower, and so that way, because my alarm is still set to where it's pretty close to when it's prayer time. But for some reason, I heard the alarm at 5 something, and I think for Jar, where I am is at 6:15. So I woke up, I was a little early. Anyway, so I completed my prayer, and then I really don't have much to do today. So since it was early, because I'm still on home time, I just went and I laid back down, and then woke back up, and now I'm just doing a recap of everything that happened yesterday. So yesterday was kind of it was really uneventful too, but there was a couple of things that happened that I forgot to mention in last night's update video. So there's some things that's happening in my life that's kind of private right now that I'm not disclosing, but will be disclosed later. Only because I'm just letting God work on it. I'm letting Allah work on the situation. And so once you give it to Him, you leave it alone. And then, once it plays itself out, then, we could talk about it. We could discuss it. But I was on the phone with a Muslim sister yesterday. She called to check on me to make sure that I was okay and how I was doing during the fasting. Fasting has been really good for me. Like, I'm not really having, like, the big, huge I'm hungry during the day. And so the other thing is I am really not that hungry now when it's time to break fast. So I don't know, like if I decided that I didn't want to eat period at that time, like do I still have to break the fast, or can I just continue going? Because I feel like I could do a couple of days maybe without breaking my fast at all, period. And I don't know if that's permissible, but I feel like that's what I want to do. Just keep it going, continue to pray, and just, whenever it's time, then do it. I'm feeling like I can physically see my physical changing. I also see my mental changing as well, because now it's like, and this is day 6, so I noticed this yesterday, like, being able to do the prayers, do your stuff, and your body adjusting. So my body is totally adjusting to the fasting period. Yesterday I was totally exhausted, but then I also realized something about planetary alignments. I wasn't really focused on that, and I'm normally a person who pays attention to the moon. I'm a sky watcher. I stargaze, sunbathe, all that type of stuff. And so lately I've been so focused on Ramadan, I didn't even realize what was happening in the universe. And I'm a person who knows that planetary alignments and shifts kind of mess with your energy and your body. But yesterday I was like very tired. And of course, when you're fasting, your energy, could be potentially a little bit low from the beginning. So all of these things probably are very, very normal. Anyway, so past all that, she called me to see about how the fasting was going. So we were talking, and I just started like talking about some of the things that was going on like around me and in my life. And I've been believing in God since the day I was born. I was raised under God. Like, so, my grandmother, my family, I was raised under God. So I knew God existed. I knew God existed for a very long time. It wasn't that I had to search and, he was just there from the time I was born. So I've had a very blessed life. And don't get me wrong, some things have been hard. I done had hard times. But I also knew that it was because of things that I was doing or things that I did. Now it's like, it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around having hard times when you're doing the right thing. And so that's what I was talking to her about. And I had mentioned one time a while ago, I said, and I know God is working on my behalf. I definitely know that. But the feeling of it is like, to me, like, how did certain people insert themselves into my life? How did certain people even get close enough? Because I live my life in such a way where I don't bother anybody. I don't go out with people. I'm very secluded. I stay to myself. I like it like that. Um, and this is not something new. This has been like my whole life. My parents will tell you that I'll go off and, they have to start calling each other to make sure that if somebody didn't talk to me, is she okay? So it's like a thing with them. They'll say, well, when she, want to talk, she'll come around or whatever. So I have always been that way. I'll go off and I'm just to myself. So I was questioning, like, because it's just been a roller coaster of things. Like, how did this happen? How did that happen? And so I started talking to God at one time, like, God, like, what did I do that was wrong? That I don't know if he felt the need or if some, like, I don't know who felt the need to allow certain things to insert into my life, because there are some things that happened that I had nothing to do with. All I did was live my life, and then people started inserting. Insert yourself here. No, I'm not that person. Don't insert yourself here. I don't like that. But somehow that happened. And it started being a thing where it was starting to be like, it was weird. Like, honestly, weird. And I just don't know what type of people live on earth that they do certain, like, they have certain behaviors. But anyway, so those things were happening. And then, like, the people, like, getting close to me, because it takes a lot for me to get close to people. And so, but when I was younger, like, so I still have some of the same people who are around from, the time I was younger. And it started to be a thing. Like, even now, my daughter's calling me saying, like, the people that we have helped the most have been the people that have tried to take from us, try to hurt us, try to do the most malicious things to us. And all we are like, we're givers. Where I'm a family, like, my family is a giving family. I raised them that way. They're a loving family. I raised them that way. So I'm very proud of, the people that my children are and who they turned out to be. But now this, and I was just saying, like, we can't change our energy, our behavior, because we are, like, that behavior is correct. Just because people try to abuse it, we have to learn to have some type of discernment and to trust our intuition. But when it's people who've been around for forever and a day, it's almost like you try to give them a pass. And so there are no more passes. That's the thing. Everybody's being held accountable for the things that they're doing, for their actions. And that's just the way I am right now, because I've given too many passes and it has come back to haunt me. It's come back to damage me. And why do I need to keep dealing with that because I'm a good person and I'm a loving person? No. The minute I see that you are this, we can't be friends. We can't be here. It's also like how I've been talking to people on love, life, and relationships, and I'm saying that once I see, like, I have to know what I want as far as a mate in a relationship, because if me and that person don't see eye to eye when we talk right from the beginning, right off the bat, we can't be married. We can't be boyfriend, girlfriend. We can't be any of that, because of the fact that, first of all, we can't be boyfriend and girlfriend, period. But I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you to get to know you. Like, I just don't. Because for why? And so now I'm just going through the, like, when people are trying to be friendly, we can't be friends. We just cannot be friends because I don't want to deal with that type of behavior. I'm not inserting that into my life because why? We see red flags from people initially straight from the beginning. And then we still, because we're good people and because we're loving and because we're giving, we still want to be. God didn't say we had to do that. All he said we had to do was love thy brother, love thy neighbor, just love, show love and compassion into the world because God is love. And past that, they don't got to be near you. They can kick rocks. So that's one of the things that I've been dealing with because, we were having a conversation and I'm saying, so I was telling her that. And then so we started talking about, she asked me questions like, what if the person was this? We can't be together. Like, I don't care how fine you show up, like how attracted I am to you or you are to me. But if there's something that you and I are discussing and you're this type of person and I'm that type of person, we can't be together because it's almost like us setting ourselves up for failure already. Somehow, some way, that's going to come back into our relationship and mess it up. I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting no time with nobody, and I just don't have time for that. So, yeah, it's a no. Because we were also talking about, like, in the Muslim culture, men are allowed to have second wives. And so she was saying, and I am open to that, and I'm okay with that. And so I was telling her that, and she was saying that she would not really want to do that if she was in love with the person. It would only be like if she wasn't in love with the person, then she could do that. And I said, now see, that's where I draw the line because the person that I'm going to be with, I'm going to love them. I'm going to love them wholeheartedly. And if I find out that the person that they are choosing to want to be with or wanting to be, or that we are choosing, because that's another thing. So if we can't choose, then we can't be together, period. Or if they're choosing me, because I could be chosen, after the other person's there. So I would have to want to be friendly with the person to make sure that, our family's going to be able to coexist, me and, as what. And I don't know how they would want to do it, keeping it separate or something like that. But see, that would even be a thing for me because, I was saying, like, we got to make sure these pH balances are right. And there's a thing that's happening right now where they're talking about some, Muslim women basically doing things, not my business, so I ain't gonna say that. But anyway, I was saying that basically I need to make sure that person is being, on the up and up. So to me, I would want to be friends. I would want to communicate. I would want to know that we are holding each other accountable. And so if I find out that the person doesn't love him as much as I love him, I'm telling. Because why would you want to be with somebody that you're not in love with? Like, of course, you might not know this person, but the love is there. Like, you can automatically, love is a thing. Like, it's almost like you can pick it up. There's a feeling. I don't know if people understand what love at first sight is, but there's a connection that you make with a person, like, right off the bat. And I've had that. And regardless of whether or not it didn't work out or it worked out or it ran its course or it did whatever it did, I know that feeling. So I know it does exist. So a person can't say, well, oh, you don't know that person. Yeah, you don't know them. But when you meet the person or when you meet the people, there's an instant connection that lets me know that I'm going to love this person. So if we're now a family and you don't love him as much as I love him, I mean, even if I started to feel the exact same way, I mean, I would want to say that. I would want to be open, and I would want to be honest. And that's the thing about going into relationships. Like, people are not honest going into the relationship. They're not even honest with themselves because half of the time they don't even know what they want or how they want it. And so like, this is like the discovery. Ramadan is like teaching me so many things, like the discovery of yourself, the discovery of who you are with God, the discovery of God, like discovery of, like, it's just opening up brand new avenues for you to like love yourself. And loving yourself is knowing, part of loving yourself is knowing what it is that you want, knowing what it is that you deserve. So I think that's where the time comes in, that you need to take time sometimes to learn yourself, be by yourself without anybody's interference. That way you get to see what type of habits that you have all on your own, and then figure out if you want to add them to somebody else's. So as I spoke before, and I told y'all, like, I'm not even really sure about that. I mean, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. So, you know, and life does what it's supposed to do too. So you never know. You could run into somebody today and it just be like insane chemistry or something like that. And then now y'all two are happily married. Okay, so that could happen. So I'm not discounting that. I'm not counting that part out. But there's a beauty and a peace in getting to know yourself. There is a beauty and a peace in accepting when somebody's just not for you. And sometimes we just want what we want, what's good for the eyes. And sometimes what's good for the eyes is not what's good for the soul, not good for the heart. And of course, there has to be some type of attraction. So that's where it's like, okay, you having to wait. You having to really take your time and go through maybe months, maybe years, maybe just basically taking some time until you get to that one particular one who checks off everything. And it does exist. I know it does. I trust God. And even with all the weird, strange things that is happening to me, I trust God. And then I learned, like, it literally just came to me, like, okay, you're dealing with this type of spirit or this type of energy. And so pray a little harder. You got to pray a little harder. And yeah, I realized that for as much as I pray, you still got to pray a little harder. You're not praying enough because you go through life. And that was one of the things that God said to me. You know I got you, so it's like you just don't pay attention, and I need for you to pay attention. It's great that you trust me like that, but you live in a 3D world, so you got to pay attention. And I got it. So I'm paying attention. But now it's like, oh, what a mighty web we weave. So untangling the web, which is my life at this point, and that's being held up by one string is tying everything, like twisting everything up. And I'm waiting for God to cut that string, because that string will free me to so much more. But it's like one string that just won't go away. It just won't go away. And so I was saying that to her yesterday, like, it's just one thing that's messing up everything else. And how come God is allowing that to happen? So, and, you know, people say you can't question God. Why? I ask God stuff all the time. Whether or not he wants to reveal it to us now or later, it says, like, seek and ye shall find. Like, I still, you know, reference the Bible for a lot of things because that's what I grew up. That's what I knew. And so, but I believe that when you ask God, anything that I've ever asked God, he gives me the answer. It may take some time sometimes because we might not know why one thing held up something else. And it might be because the meeting that you're supposed to have after this, it needed some time. So I had to put you on freeze in order for everything to line up. And it might not feel good when we're going through it, but you'll be okay. No matter what happens, you'll be okay. And so after I got done talking to her, and, you know, she like was on pause, like, because it was a lot. And she was like, I don't have the answer. And that was like And I didn't expect for her to have an answer. Honestly, I was just possibly just venting. And yeah, and she said, I don't have the answer. But the answer is again the same. So we don't know the answer to the actual question, but the answer is to pray. The answer is always to pray. And so now it's like, even after I did my actual prayers when I had to go to the mat yesterday, the advice that she gave me is stay there. That's the ultimate submission to God. Stay there and pray some more. And honestly, I did exactly that. Each time I went to the mat yesterday, even after the prayer was over, I went into a different prayer. And again, I still don't know what's going to happen, and things will reveal themselves as it's time. But the excitement and the love and my future, I can feel it. And it makes me smile. It makes me happy. Like, no matter what's happening right now, it's almost like God said, I can't tell you what's happening right now, and it's going to hurt. It's going to feel like you're by yourself, but you're not by yourself. And I'm going to give you a little glimpse of your future just to know that you are going to be okay. So you can still smile in spite of. You can still be happy in spite of. You can still be loving in spite of. Like, it don't matter what's happening. I had to show you something. You had to learn that lesson, because otherwise that thing that you was holding on to so much, that you loved so much, that you was praising so much, it wasn't me. And I need you to hold on to me. I need you to hold on to God. Praise God. Love God. Because he's always going to make sure that you come out clean in the wash. You're going to come out clean in the wash. So if you trust God, like you say you do, focus on that. So that was my yesterday. My yesterday was, I had a moment. I had to get it off my chest, because sometimes I'm not really that vocal, and I because I stay to myself, so if I'm talking, I'm probably talking like I am right now. Like, this has been the best thing for me, because I'm talking to myself, but really I'm talking to y'all, and then, or whoever wants to listen, basically. But I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to God. I'm talking to my energy for my future. And to my energy for my future, I love you. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are such a kind person. And make sure you keep that. Make sure you keep that in, and keep that in your heart. Because if you allow whatever is going on with you right now to change you, to damage you, then evil wins. And we can't allow that. Light will always overshadow and overpower dark. So even if you feel like you're in darkness right now, keep focusing on the light. It's going to get bigger, because you're going to get closer. Every day you're getting closer. Every day I get closer to the light. And one thing because I get tired of real cliche like sayings and like what people like, I don't like it. But the one thing that I can hold on to, and I know will ring true to everybody, when you're going through a struggle, it might feel bad and you might cry. That's okay. It's okay. You won't cry always. Trouble don't last always. This journey may be tough, but in the end, it's always going to be worth it. Because when I went through my first upgrade, level up, ascension, I cried. I remember I slid down the wall and I cried. And at that point, I didn't have what I have now, but I always had God. And God said, you got to go. It's now time to leave. So I need you to pack up and go. And I did exactly that. I left. And where I am now, as opposed to then, it was worth it. It was totally worth it. So now we're in the fiery furnace again. And it's hot. It's a lot. But I know what happens on the other side. It's happiness. It's laughter. It's family. It is like always blessed to be a blessing. It's amazing over there. So you're okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And he's going to send what I need, the people, the like whatever it is that I need financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, he's going to send. I trust him. So I'm thanking Allah right now for peace because I woke up peaceful. I woke up clean. I woke up smiling. I woke up with hope. I woke up with joy. I woke up with faith. I woke up. I woke up. So that's my update for now. About to get my day started, and we shall see what God has in store. And just remember, no matter what happens, no matter what you're going through, prayer will always be the answer. Just stop and pray. Stop, breathe, and pray. We're going to pray this thing off. That's what it is. So thank you guys for just listening, to whoever's listening. And if you're on your journey, peace be unto you on your journey. Thank you for coming to my channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Anything you wish to know about me or this channel will be in the description box. Goodness and mercy shall follow us through all of our days. Go with God.